Your morning routine is surprisingly important. Yes, it takes the decisions out of the morning so that you can get like a running start to your day and you just have more headspace and like all that sort of stuff. Yes, there's a very secular side of it. But it's also really important for the whole living side, the like figuring myself out and navigating and trying to work on myself and be a better person and that that lifelong pursuit. And it does it in a few different ways, but mostly like just to start, it makes you accept that you're a patterned person. It's like that's just built into having morning routine is that I'm a thing that tends to follow patterns. And the minute you have that realization, that then you realize that I can start working on these patterns, instead of saying like, hey, it's everything outside, it's all their fault. If only they were this way, if only I had this thing, if only all that external stuff. And it just starts to go inwards, and it's just like, if I worked this way, if I did this pattern, I could probably get that, or that wouldn't bother me as much, or whatever else. And that's the thing as well, that like that second part just sneaks in straight away, that like the minute you recognize patterns, you just automatically play with them, because you're just like every time I have sugar right before I go to bed, I have a pain in my stomach. Like every time, really. Or every time we sleep on an argument, it doesn't get solved. And maybe, as in like, different people solve it different ways. So none of these are going to be true for everyone. But you will start recognizing patterns, and then you'll start playing with them, and then you'll start kind of like figuring stuff out. And the other thing as well is like the minute you start playing with them, you automatically have momentum, because you're just like, this, like, I don't want that. And you're automatically kind of planning out your future and being like, and designing yourself. You're taking yourself seriously just by recognizing the patterns, starting to play with them. Like this all kind of comes in together, that you just take yourself seriously. And when you take yourself seriously, then you recognize that you're a force, and then you recognize you're a force that you want to respect and you want to be better and all the rest. And then this starts to get into like, the material stuff starts to matter less, because the material things in my house could burn down in the morning, but I'm going to be here. And for as long as I'm here, I want the immaterial stuff. I want to be able to play an instrument. I want a skill. I want a talent. I want just competency at different things. And that will last me my life, because it's literally me. So you start becoming a bit less materialistic, and then you start trying to build. And the minute you start trying to build, then you realize that other people are really important, and then you just recognize that you're just trying to get into harmony with everyone and harmony with the whole system. And like that's down the line. That's spirituality, that's like down there. So let's not get caught up in that one. But accepting the pattern, starting to play with the patterns, and starting to take yourself seriously, those three, like, that's massive. It's massive. And here, okay, so that's kind of one thing that it does all in one. But the second thing it does is, like, it gives you a reference point, as in whatever map you have of being a better person, of doing better today, of fulfilling that promise, of making sure you don't make the same mistake you did last time. Like whatever map you have that you hope will work to avoid that mine or will get you to the goal. Like a map's pretty useless if you don't know where you are. And like even if the map doesn't show you where you are, like even if you've like a blueprint or something like that, you're going to need like a reference point. Oh, there's this massive pillar here, and I think that's me here. And then you're going to have to play around. You're going to have to walk down and figure out, does the map actually match? And that's the beauty of a morning routine, is that like the external world doesn't really come in first thing in the morning. It's rare that your mood gets interrupted first thing in the morning. So whatever way you are first thing in the morning, it's just us. It's just me. It's just you first thing in the morning. It's like, okay, and I'm in a bad mood first thing in the morning. How the hell does that work? Nothing happened to me, nothing disastrous. Why am I in a bad mood? And it's going to be either that I'm carrying stuff from the day beforehand, or from further beforehand, or maybe I had that sugar late last night and it's just a health thing, which is its own symptom. Or it's going to be anxiety about the future. Something's coming up and I need to get it done, and all of the rest. And again, both like So if you're anxious about the future, do you actually want that future? Is this a positive? If it is, are you enjoying it? If you're not enjoying it, then why did you pick it? And is just coming to terms with that, having that negotiation with yourself, instead of being a tyrant to yourself, saying you have to do this, you have to do the work, you have to do the project. If not, everything's going to fail and it's going to be... I can almost hear my brain exploding going down that path. It's like, no, it should be... You should want... It should be voluntary. Anything in the future and anything in the past, again, it's working through, and it's kind of like, okay, why am I holding on to this? What pattern of mine is making me hold on to this? What is, like, why does that trigger me? Why can't I let go of it? And you've all your introspection to do with that. And that's you meeting yourself right in this moment, recognizing the past, recognizing the future, and just meeting yourself. And just being like, oh, today, it's like, I didn't know I was anxious about that. Today, when I was making lunch for the kids, I was just angry about it. Or like, okay, all of this presupposes that part of your morning routine is something that makes you introspective. Is something where your brain is turned off and you recognize that you're doing something more aggressively, or you're more lethargic. You're more kind of like, oh, do I have to do it? Or whatever it is. And again, why is that resistance there? And that's a conversation, obviously. Okay. But either way, everything that comes up, anything that comes up, is you meeting you. So that's it. Like, as in, I can't really state it any more than that. It helps you accept patterns and take yourself seriously and move forward, and it also helps you meet yourself and actually take stock of who we are, because everyone we meet today is going to meet us. So we should probably meet us first and just have like a little chat and just be like, hey, like, you've a few tools in the toolbox, and I think you're presenting, or I think you're being a bit anxious today. So maybe some of those like slow breaths to kind of bring you back down, because I don't think anxious is the right mode you're meant to be in. Or on the opposite end, hey, you seem a bit apathetic, like you're not caring today for whatever reason. So instead of going for a cup of coffee, we're going to do like breath work to actually get you into that fight or flight response. And say, yeah, we're getting pumped, and it's do a blowout. I'm not going to do a CO2 blowout here on camera. There's no purpose to that. But yes, as in controlling the state of how you go into the world, and just not being at the whim of it, and recognizing that we are patterns and all the rest, taking ourselves seriously. Again, I can't really overstate it. I think it's next to meditation, it's really it's pretty fundamental. So I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully this helps you. If the kind of scientific side of stuff hasn't motivated you to pick up a morning routine before, or hasn't motivated you to take it seriously, hopefully this does. Hopefully you do. Oh man, I'm hoping. Yes, hoping. Look, I want you to have a great life. And I believe that morning routine and taking it seriously is pretty important. I think that having some part of your morning routine that makes you reflective is important. And then after that, having the tools and starting to play with the patterns and play with your state, and like breath work, like movement, exercise, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, socializing, challenging ourselves, all that sort of stuff. These are tools that we can use then. And yeah, the world needs more of you. Whoever you are, whoever's watching this, the world could always do with more of you, because of course it is. Of course it could. The world's a complicated place, and it's amazing when people become more. So hopefully this helps. I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to leave it there. If you could hit like, hit subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one next week. Bye guys.